G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_gaming for another Dokkan battle video. So today's video we're going to be going over the details of the new Tanabata LR that is dropping on JP in a couple of days. Will come to global in December, and sort of just going over why I think this is actually a really big release. Not only is it super hype, but just pertaining to our anniversary that is coming up on global. So looking at the Goku, he does start off at straight Super Saiyan 4. As you can see here, his leader skill is GT Heroes in full power, 3 key 170, which is pretty solid. Full power's got a lot of options in there, and GT Heroes is just niche, but all the units in there work well together. And then you've got the additional attack and defense, HP attack and defense plus 30% to give the 200 to hybrid and pure Saiyan. So that's good because just about every card we get is either a hybrid or pure Saiyan. So really useful there. So for his 12 key super, we got the raise defense by 30% for one turn, and then greatly lowers attack. So that gives some sort of SBR short film content use there. And then for the 18 key, we got the raised defense for 4 turns and causes mega colossal damage. So getting additionals on this guy is definitely going to be really useful. Get that multiple raise for the 1 turn, and then that 4 turn buff is going to cover you for the next rotation as well. So pretty good super attack effect considering it's not stacking. So for his passive, we got key plus 3, attack and defense 150%, start a turn. Not a bad initial buff. We then got an additional key plus 1 per key sphere obtained. So just like the anniversary LRs, always a really good mechanic on LRs just to help you get to that 18 key every single time. We've got an additional 70% attack when launching a super attack, and has a high chance for attacks to be critical hits when launching an 18 key super. So that sort of just defeats the purpose of putting crit on this guy, so he's definitely going to be a more additional build. He also gets an additional attack plus 70% for the turn and defense plus 70% for 3 turns when an attack is received or evaded. He gets 20% damage reduction plus an additional 70% defense and another 20% damage reduction when placed as the first attacker. So by reading that kit, it should make you aware that he is sort of aimed to be used as a slot 1 unit. So that's where you're going to get that hit before he attacks to get the extra attack, 70% attack there. You're getting the defense for the 3 turns, and then add on that he's going to have 40% damage reduction in that first slot as well. So definitely good that we're going to have another really top tier slot 1 unit, and that does sort of enter with his standby skill here. So his standby is for 4 turns. He obtains 2 key spheres per int key sphere obtained, 1 per non-int key spheres, and this can be activated when the character receives 5 or more attacks. So more often than not, it'll feel like most of those attacks are coming in slot 1, so that's why the damage reduction for him is really cool. For his links, crazy link set, we've got Super Saiyan, Shocking Speed, GT, Prepare for Battle, Saiyan Raw, Legendary Power, and Fierce Battle. 6 million teams, so I'm not going to go through them there, but this guy, as I mentioned, is going to be really good in slot 1, and what that helps with is the STR GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So they link up reasonably well. I think it is 4 that they do get together, and that's just going to be able to have this guy sitting in slot 1, building up those attacks, and then the GT Duo in slot 2 just continuing to stack up. They can get their multiple super attacks. They get the extra key for being in slot 2 or 3, so it's just going to help them to be so much more effective. GT Heroes being one of this guy's leader skills, an extra boost, an extra team for you to be running them on, or vice versa if you wanted to run this guy on the Power of Wishes team that the GT Duo do lead as well. That's going to be really effective. So I think this is definitely going to make people consider leaning more towards that GT style banner, just because adding this guy to the team build is going to be really insane. So looking at the standby skill here, so once we do get the standby, you see that he does go into Super Oob. So obviously the leader skill stays the same. His passive is that he can't attack, but he gets defense plus 300%, damage reduction plus 10% per key sphere obtained, and activates guard if 3 or more key spheres are obtained. So if he's orb changing, that's obviously going to be pretty easy, because at the end of there you can see randomly changes non-int key spheres of a certain type to int. So you can also see that he does get the key 3 and defense plus 70% to all allies from the second turn since appearing. So he's got that opposite to the Super Saiyan Vegeta's effect, where he does give the key and attack. This guy's giving the extra little bit of key and defense. So that's going to be really, really useful to make sure that you are surviving throughout this guy's standby, because you definitely want to make sure that you are surviving to get into the full power Super Saiyan 4 stage. So you can see ends, you've got two conditions here. So ends the standby mode and recovers 30% HP, key plus 3 for 3 turns, and that is if you get the less than 30 charge counters or 30 key. But if you do get over that 30 key mark, as you can see here, does evolve into Super Saiyan full power Goku. And from there he is absolutely insane. His links do change to solid support, shocking speed, tough as nails, GT, fuse fighter, fierce battle, legendary power, but I don't think that is that big of a concern, because you are really just trying to get through that stage to get into this guy, whose art is absolutely fire there on the left. If you hadn't noticed, that is absolutely sick. But as you can see, on the 12 key, we got attack and defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage and greatly lowers enemies' attack. So pretty solid there. We just pretty much get the extra little bit of boost of it on attack compared to when we are untransformed. For the 18 key, we get the greatly raised attack for 1 turn on top of the already raised defense for 4 turns. So again, additionals very much the way to go for this guy. So once you do go out of that standby skill, you're going to recover 77% HP once, which is huge. If you've sort of just survived that standby but you manage to get enough key, this guy can get you up to almost full HP. So he activates guard for 1 turn, and all attacks are crit for 3 turns from appearing. So that's insane. That's the Super Vegeta style super attack effect. Super Vegeta, sorry. But yeah, considering this guy is an LR and he's going to be putting up outrageous attack stats, the extra crit on top of that's just going to be insane. So also gets key 7 and attack and defense plus 200%, which is a lot of key and a good start base percentage for the start of turn. So he gets an additional 2 key per int or rainbow key sphere obtained. So from int key spheres, he's going to be getting 4 key, and then from the rainbows 3, and then he gets the additional 1 key per non-int key sphere obtained. So you're going to be getting the 2 on there. So he gets easily going to get to 24 key quite regularly. So you can see that we also get an additional attack plus 150% when launching a super, which has a great chance to be a crit. So once the initial 3 turns does wear off, where you've got the guaranteed crit, you're then going to have an additional great chance to crit. And that is for when you are launching an ultra super attack. So an additional 59% and guaranteed crits when key is 24. As I mentioned, we've got the plus 7 key in there early in the passive, so getting to 24 key is going to be extremely regular with this guy. So yeah, definitely wouldn't be throwing crit on him at all. We also get an additional defense plus 77% for 5 turns when an attack is received or evaded, damage reduction 25%, an additional defense plus 77% and damage reduction 25% when the first attacker and his links go back to the initial. So this Goku is quite literally just a juiced up version of the first Goku here. The passive is extremely similar, except you're just getting a little bit of extra boost on everything, be that key, the extra damage reduction, you get the crit there, the extra defensive boost from being hit. He just does everything just that little bit better, and the showcases you'll see for this guy, he's going to be putting up insane numbers. There's going to be crits galore going on, and he's going to be a unit that does really benefit from dupes as well. The fact that he's in, you're going to have to get dupe copies to get some additional into him, but it's definitely going to be worth the stone investment. So, as I mentioned, this guy is a big old buff to the GT Duo that we're about to get on global. I know I'll definitely be stashing some stones away to summon for this guy. On that Power of Wishes team, these two are going to be absolutely phenomenal together. You slap on STR Bulma into that team, and you're going to be able to put together some ridiculous types of numbers. Slot 1 units are also very, very valuable, just because of the variety of situations with locking, battlefield. Slot 1 always does sort of steal priority there. So let me know down below if this does affect where you are going to be summoning for the anniversary. I know it definitely makes me more inclined to try and get those GT duos and a couple of dupes in there. So let me know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next one.